Alright guys, today we're going to be talking about something different than what I normally talk about here on this channel. A topic that I always wanted to touch on. A show that I actually grew up on and played a lot of their video games. And the topic of today's video is going to be about Pokemon. Specifically, one of my favorite fights in the whole series and an underrated fight in all of anime, which is Ash Greninja vs Mega Sceptile. And if you guys have watched my videos previously, you know I mainly talk about harem shows, shonen shows, waifus, and sometimes borderline H animes. But what better way to transition to talk about my childhood series? Whoa, wait, that should not go in the same sentence. Should not.
Stop it. Get some help.
On a serious note though, I did want to talk about this fight specifically because in the whole anime community, you don't really see anyone talking about any sort of Pokemon fights really, which I could kind of understand because a lot of people just see it as like a child show. But put some respect on Greninja vs Sceptile because that shit was so tough. And the main point I want to get across in this video is that the Greninja vs Sceptile fight is a top fight, and not just in the Pokemon series, but in anime in general. But before we get into the fight itself, I want to talk about Sceptile and his trainer Sawyer, which is the rival to Ash, and a little backstory on Greninja and Ash as well. Because one of the reasons why the fight was so good is the lore behind the fights. So let's talk about Sawyer, Ash's rival. While some may dislike Sawyer, I actually really like him. I actually think that he might be top 3 in Ash's top rivals. Okay, before you hate on me, I mean, obviously we all know that Paul from Pokemon Diamond Pearl is the top rival. He is the top for sure. He is what you want in a rival.
That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
And the reason why I say this, why I actually like Sawyer, is because this motherfucker actually has hard work ethic. And he becomes stronger each and every time he fights Ash. And how he does this was that he was following in Ash's footsteps. So we meet Sawyer when he is a beginning trainer basically. And he just follows Ash throughout the series. And this is kind of like a cool dynamic between a rival. I mean, you never really see like a rival looking up to the main character, but it kind of makes sense. I mean, Ash has like hella experience and he kind of knows what he's doing, especially in this series. He is him in this series. But while he looks up to him, he also believes that he can surpass Ash. And I really fuck with that mindset because Sawyer has the same mindset as a lot of professional athletes out there. We all know that every athlete growing up always looks up to that one player, that GOAT player in their eyes. Majority of people will say Michael Jordan back in the day. Nowadays, you'll see more LeBron James, Kobe Bryant. Shit, some players think PG-13 is the GOAT. But they all have in common to where they look up to that one player, and with hard work and dedication, you know, these athletes can potentially surpass those players they looked up to. Like my Pookie Bear LeBron.
Come on, man! That's too easy!
And with Sawyer, he actually catches up to Ash in Pokemon XY&Z. And in this one fight, he actually surpasses him. He beats Ash. And this is why I really fuck with Sawyer. Like, he is one of my favorite rivals to Ash, and I will stand on business defending this man. Oh, fun fact too, Sawyer is actually voiced by Pikachu. So now that we finished talking about Sawyer, let's move on to Ash and his development throughout the X and Y series. So let's get this straight. Ash in Pokemon XY and Pokemon XY&Z is goated. He is arguably my favorite Ash ever. Like, my man was a dog in this series. And he actually got the bitch. Bro, I don't know what the writers were on during the XY&Z series, but they were cooking. One of the things I really did like about Ash in this series was that we really get to see him struggle, especially phenomenon bond between him and Greninja. Like, it really took them a while to actually master the whole thing. Like, a lot of their struggles was Ash not being able to physically handle the phenomenon. And I think because Ash and Greninja both had that dog mindset that they don't like to lose, they were kind of clashing heads a little bit. It's like basically when Kobe and Shaq were on the same team. And especially after losing back-to-back to Sawyer and the Ice Gym Leader, both Ash and Greninja lost faith in each other. But, you know, this is an anime, you know Ash is the MC, so obviously they figure that shit out. The way that they made up was through this little bug Pokemon Spupa. Him almost dying and falling off a cliff made Ash and Greninja bond again. They ended up being able to control the whole phenomenon. Alright, now that we got the official backstories for both Sawyer and Ash during this series, let's talk about the fight. This video, I'm only going to be talking about Sceptile versus Greninja, but shout out to Sawyer's team, bruh. That shit was nice. Motherfucker has Salaman, Slurpuff, Aegislash, Slaking, Cloitzer, and obviously Sceptile. But like, damn, he actually had a good all-around team. Like, I could actually see myself having that team if I was playing a playthrough. So the official fight starts off with my boy Greninja using Double Team, and Sawyer's Sceptile counters with Frenzy Plant. Oh my gosh, how they animated Sceptile using Frenzy Plant was so clean. Bro, him just fucking jamming his two fists together and then jamming it straight to the ground was so tough. And this large, thick plant comes out from the ground. Sceptile was looking like Edward out there. And oh my gosh, I totally forgot how they did the cut animation, but making this video, it's so funny how they made cut for Greninja just look like he was holding a kunai. But that's tough though. I mean, they made cut lit in the Pokemon XY&Z series. Like, my thing when I played the video games as a child was that cut was one of the worst HM moves ever. Basically, you would just catch a fodder Pokemon from like the first route, give them all the shitty ass HM moves in order for you to get through the story, and that was it. But watching this, like watching Greninja fucking making it look like ninja swords, makes me look at cut in such a cooler way. And with Sceptile using Leaf Blade to match against Greninja's cut, it was just looking like they're having a fucking sword fight. It's just lit. Then we finally get the transformation. We finally get to see Ash Greninja in this fight. And the cool part was when they were transforming into the new form, the OST from the Pokemon XY&Z started playing. And guys, this opening is literally my favorite in the whole Pokemon series. And then we get to see Sceptile officially Mega Evolve as well. Oh, they cooking right now. This part when Mega Sceptile uses Frenzy Plant again, and then the OST in the background just getting louder and the beat matching with the fight itself, and then hearing the electric guitar and the drums of the fucking opening.
My udders are on fire!
You guys know that feeling when you watch some scene in an anime and you are just amazed and you get that little butterflies in your stomach because you're just so hyped and so much serotonin is just roaming around your body? Honestly, that is me every time I watch this fight. But with typical Pokemon in the anime, you have to deal with a lot of shit that doesn't make sense. As this whole time, Ash has been using Cut to counter everything from fucking Mega Sceptile. He used it against Leaf Blade and now he counters Frenzy Plant with Cut. That shit is crazy, bro. How the fuck does he do that with one of the weakest HM moves? But at this point, these two are straight boxing right now. After Greninja throws a water shuriken at Sceptile and Sceptile counters it with Dragon Claw, Ash has Greninja speed blitz him with Aerial Ace. And Greninja hits Sceptile with the meanest two-piece uppercut combo move. This part was actually really funny where Mega Sceptile fucking hits Greninja with two Leaf Storms. A Leaf Storm coming from a Mega Evolved Grass Pokemon. And Greninja survives it like it's nothing, like it's fucking candy. And surprisingly, at some point, like the slightest point, it looks like Ash and Greninja are cornered with Frenzy Plant just going everywhere like it's a fucking goddamn fire hose. And then we hear, oh my god, is he gonna lose? Man, what kind of dumb shit is that? Obviously, he's not gonna lose. He's him in the series. And then somehow again, Ash counters Frenzy Plant with fucking Cuts. Honestly, I've been low-key thinking Ash gave Greninja the bootiest move pool ever. This man gave him Water Shuriken, Cut, Aerial Ace, and Double Team. Bruh, if that shit was in the game, every opponent that Greninja would be fighting would literally bend him over and just stick his. But this is the anime, so obviously that shit don't really matter. This was my favorite scene though, where Ash Greninja cuts up the fucking Frenzy Plant, and then the opening of the song with the lyrics come on right when he cuts it. That timing was just was so perfect. Guys, this last part of the fight was probably one of the coldest moments in Pokemon history. When my boy Greninja uses Double Team to summon a shit ton of Greninjas with the Water Shuriken in hand, then Ash telling him to use Water Shuriken, and all those Double Team Greninjas, all the Water Shurikens were combining into one massive, huge, girthy. Hey, we still talking about Pokemon? Yeah, the Water Shuriken. And then Greninja fucking yeeting that shit straight to Sceptile was so tough. Though this part was so funny where you can see the fear in Sawyer's eyes that he was like, oh fuck, we're fucked. You could just see how desperate he was in that scene. And in the end, Ash Greninja KO'd Mega Sceptile to advance to the Kalos League Championship, where my boy is gonna win. There is no chance Charizard is defeating a water type fucking phenomenal bond Ash Greninja. There's no way in hell. He fucking lost. Guys, till this day,
To this day,
I am so upset that the writers did not have Ash win in the Kalos League. He fucking deserved that, bruh. If he was able to defeat a Mega Sceptile, a water type beating a grass type, how the fuck does he lose from a water type to a fire type? Make that make sense. Bro, it's so bullshit. Ash should have won that fucking fight instead of winning the goddamn Alolan League, bruh. That shit is whack. And I will stand on business that Ash should have been the Kalos League champion. But yeah, that was the whole fight. And like I said earlier in the video, I felt like because this is a Pokemon fight, that is the reason why no one in the anime community talks about this fight. But if you look at how this fight was choreographed and the story behind it, this should be talked about at least a little, right? Like, a mention here and there would be nice, but I think one of the main reasons is because Pokemon is looked as a childhood show, and a lot of new anime viewers are like, what the fuck? It's fucking Pokemon. Why would I watch Pokemon? Those are for kids. It's a kid's show. But if I were to recommend any series to anyone who hasn't watched any Pokemon, I would recommend the Pokemon XY and XY&Z series, because those are the most mature out of all of them, and that series is the most shonen-like. And also, all the openings in that series, every single one is S tier. They're fucking peak. And if you guys thought this fight was lit, oh, trust me, XY&Z had so many other cold moments, you will not be disappointed. But if I had to rate this fight overall, I would rate it a 9.2 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making this one because, I mean, guys, this is like my childhood. Like, this is what I grew up watching, and it's just kind of sad that not a lot of people talk about it just because it's from Pokemon, but this shit was so tough. But as always, guys, like and subscribe and comment down below what anime you guys want me to review next. Oh, and big news, I officially made a Discord. Yes, I want to start a community with you guys. I feel like it'll be so much fun, and what better way to start it now? Also, click the link for my other socials as well. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.